Feeling good.
Hey everybody, hope you're well, and it's James here, over the Part-Time Entrepreneur, and today we're going to have a look at the ICO review for Morpheus Network. Now, as always, this isn't financial advice or any of that nonsense. This is just me, my research, and nothing more. So let's have a little look at Morpheus Network then. Now, the World Banks are saying that supply chain efficiencies are the #1 problem to solve in order to stimulate economic growth. And they're saying it's roughly worth around 3 trillion. So that's quite a large amount of money. So let me context that for you. That 3 trillion is the size of the 5 top companies in the world. And that's the losses that we're losing through supply chain. Now, I know from working in big companies that there are so many supply chain efficiencies. Now, I was in a meeting only this week and I was pulling my hair out in terms of everything that was going wrong. And actually, blockchain would solve all of these problems. The problem is nobody wants to talk about blockchain in that business. So again, until they realize what this is, it's always a little bit of an uphill battle. So what are the problem that they're trying to fix? So the first thing is that there's slow transmission of funds. That's never good because you don't get your money in a good time. It also affects things like cash flow. You've got slow transfer of documents, lots of paperwork, things get lost, things get delayed. And all of a sudden a shipment can take a lot longer. Then that has an impact on the customer, your transport and warehouse, and it can have a whole bunch of issues. There's obviously the high fees. There's the poor conversion fees between country to country. And also there's no rating system. So at the moment, you can't tell if someone is good for it. The only way you generally do these things is that you have something called credit risk, and then you manage people's credits, basically. That's how we do it internally where I work. Obviously, I wouldn't expect this to be much different in other places or maybe even in other industries. So what is it and how does it sort of work? So just give you a very brief overview. So with anything, there's either exports or imports. Now, when this happens, there's lots of paperwork, and within different countries, there are different standards and all the rest of it. And basically what they're saying is that they can take all of that paperwork and they can put it onto the blockchain. And not only that, obviously putting in smart contracts. So obviously you've got the privacy functions, that only certain people can look at the information. But also, at the same time, you can also add payments into it. So again, if someone adds all the paperwork and they do X, Y, and Z, then that'll unlock the contract and they get paid. And obviously we know the power of cryptocurrency and the saving in fees and all the rest of it. So they're trying to make it a lot easier. And obviously, things like exporting and importing, all the different types of documentation isn't going to change overnight for each country. So you've got a little bit of an advantage there where you could potentially use templates and they can make this quite slick. So the next thing is cost saving. And this is obviously very attractive to most businesses at the moment because they're under a lot of pressure with the economic climate and all the rest of it. So we can see here quite clearly that the bank is way more expensive than using Morpheus. And some breaking news today is actually they have actually had to reduce their 1.5% fee to 1%. So again, making it even more attractive. And again, this is going to allow them to get listed on exchanges. Again, the other big thing is transaction times. We are very impatient. We don't want to wait for stuff. We want it now. We're in that culture where it's very much instant gratification, unfortunately. But as you can see here, traditional banking takes forever. They get paid way too much to doing too little, I think. And then you've got Morpheus, which is really, really quick. So not only are they obviously reducing fees, which is very cool, but in the same sort of global picture, they're increasing GDP by $5 per head. Now, if you don't know what that is, that's basically gross domestic product, and that is a way that people can measure economic activity country versus country. Now, when we see GDP go up, you normally see lower employment levels, which is only a good thing across the world, but also you see slightly higher inflation rates, which means you pay more for stuff. But then that means that there's more money in the system and all the rest of it. So there are some good bits and some bad bits, I suppose. But again, trade volume would go up massively, and they reckon anywhere between 10 and 15%. To obviously complement what they're doing, they have a user-friendly interface. Now, I think the big thing is that you've got to make smart contracts simple to use. If you make it simple to use, that literally someone can go onto a system, press a couple of buttons, and create a smart contract by just uploading documents and stuff, then that is it's gonna be an absolute game changer for blockchain and also the industry, because people don't want to be hiring expensive people to come in and do all this work for them. They want something that they can pay someone minimum wage basically to upload documents and send off smart contracts. There's also other key benefits, so the integration with Swift. Now we tried to get this confirmed, but these guys just haven't come back to us. We have emailed them many times, even in their Telegram group. It's just absolutely nothing. They're answering all the other questions, but not the key questions that we need answering. Token conversion, 76 different cryptos, and they're really doing that via implementing this shapeshift technology in there, so that to be integrated, and also they're facilitating the international payments as well. Some other key benefits will be, obviously, they'll have escrow. So if you've got a contract with someone, until they fulfill all the key elements, all of that money will be held in the smart contract and won't be released. So that's pretty cool. They'll also have layering. So obviously within these types of documents, I mean, I think I read there's something like flowers. There could be up to 200 bits of paperwork that would need to go into a smart contract. So all this, the Ripple transfer, the Walton RFID, all those types of things can go in. The fact that there is less paperwork, obviously that's good for the environment, but also that's going to create less delays. And they've also got the use of AI, so it's to help them with advanced planning and obviously plan further out, look at trends and all these types of things. And they'll also have a rating system, so they can start rating all the different users on the system. So these guys are also going to implement ZK snarks, and the reason for that is that they want that data confidentiality. And the main reason for that is that they want to be able to hook into other supply chain blockchains. So obviously there'll be a lot of competitive information on the same chain, and obviously they want to keep that as secret as possible. They've also got permission blockchain, so that's pretty much allowing them to operate as if they've got their own private blockchain, which is pretty cool. But again, it will stay private and anonymous if people wish to be. But also because they've got the off-chain stuff, it'd be private and transparent. And the biggest thing of all is that there'll be a secure audit trail. So obviously with everything, you need to be able to, everybody's audited every so often, and there's surprise audits and all the rest of it. And with blockchain, I just think that longer term, the audit trail, one, it will be able to be done quicker. Two, they'll probably do more of them, and actually they'll be able to keep a closer eye on certain companies, and there'll be less maybe fraud, less dodgy imports, all those types of things as well. So I think this is only a good thing. I've put this chart in, but for me it's a little bit misleading by the company, because they've not benched themselves against the true competitors out there, and we'll talk about them in a little bit. They've benched themselves against PayPal, which I don't know many freighting companies that use PayPal. They normally use WorldPay. That's quite misleading in some of the documentation that they've put together. Again, commercial invoices, packing lists, insurance documents, bills of lading, all these types of things, they can all go into a smart contract. We all know this already. But it would be really interesting to see these guys up against their key competitors and see how they compare. So here are their competitors. So CargoX, that one was pretty much pumped by some pump and dumpers on YouTube. You got Block Freight, Block Array, ShipChain. So there's a massive amount of competitors out there already. Again, you've got Walmart, they're hooking in with Wabi. There's lots of different things going on there. UPS, FedEx, they've just hooked into Bitter, so the blockchain transport alliance. So very much there's a lot of people getting involved in this side of things. So people are starting to wake up to the benefits of blockchain because it's huge, but at the same time, there are a whole bunch of competitors. Now, I don't think this is the last of them. I think there will be so many more. I know I looked the other day for shipping ICOs in blockchain and all the rest of it, and I think there was 46. So this is going to be a very, very competitive marketplace. So let's talk about the team. And the first guy is Danny Weinberger. Now, I've watched a few of his videos when he's talking to other YouTubers. Comes across as incredibly intelligent, incredibly experienced within his field. And hence why he's been able to pull all this together. The other thing that really sticks out for me with him is that the big brother, big sister in Canada. So obviously for a very long time he's been involved with charity. That shows me that he's got probably very strong ethics. and we've been trying to get him onto the channel. Wink, wink, Danny. And hopefully we'll be interviewing him soon. You've also got Gnome Apple, and I hope I've pronounced that right. Again, 15 years web development, info security. These two guys seem like a bit of a hit squad here. They seem very strong in their field and potentially the right people to sort of bring this project to fruition. Now, the other guy that I seen was Roger Crook, former CEO of DHL. So I got a little bit excited, started dribbling at the mouth thinking, wow, they've got this, titan of the industry. And then I asked myself the question, he was the former CEO of DHL, probably getting paid an absolute fortune. Why did he leave? So what I'll do is I'll leave this article in the notes below, but you can go through and read it for yourself. And it's like Roger Cook, Chief Executive, DHL Global Forwarding, blah, 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 resigned today of membership of the board. He stepped down from his mandate. Although there's been considerable focus in recent months overseeing the 750 million IT transformation project, it seemed it got a little bit too much for him. That's what I'm taking from this article. I'm sure if I spoke to him face to face, there might be another story. But again, this is the key thing that you need to, when you're researching, you really need to look at all of the advisors, pick out the stars, if they left somewhere, why did they leave? Now, just on the back of DHL, we know that DHL have been in absolute turmoil recently. I know the business I work in, they've been absolutely shocking. And the most recent one, which obviously be close to people's heart, is that KFC had to close down because they didn't get their deliveries of chickens. Now, if you had this on the blockchain, you wouldn't have any of those issues. We hope. Give me some chicken! So you can check out Danny's profile here on LinkedIn. You can see that obviously he founded Morpheus in 2017, but before that, Director of Operations for Stronghold Equipment. So he's been there a long time, a lot of experience as well. And while you're on here, you can check out Gnome as well. You can just check out all his experience as well. So he's got loads of different consultant, creative director, chief officer, loads of different positions. So again, very decent sort of LinkedIn profiles for these guys. So if we check out the website, again, our friend Roger is on the front page. Probably want to do your research, guys. And then you can see all of the different bits and pieces in here. I mean, these guys have called it 2 trillion. I was looking on other articles and it said 3 trillion. So, again, do your research, find out what's what. Pretty much the site looks pretty slick. You've got the roadmap as well. So just have a quick look at that. This one's quite slick as roadmaps go. So you can see what's happening, Winget on board, Swift. So obviously they've got one of the Swift managers or regional managers as advisor, but I've not seen any key elements of this partnership coming together as yet. There may be, but I can't see it as such. And then we can see into February, we've got all different bits and pieces happening in terms of the ICO, the Morpheus network sale, further expansion, finalised negotiation, simulated global supply chain document generation. So obviously they'll be doing some trials there. Real world test net. So this is a long-term project. This isn't going to be released in the next 3 or 4 months. This is it's not going to launch till the first quarter of 2019. So you've got at least 15 months to hold on to your tokens before this even goes live. You've also got the white paper. Again, this is in some pretty decent detail. Obviously some of the points that we've already covered. Lots of different things that you can go and read. As always, I advise that you go and read this. I mean, the detail is fairly decent, I would say, in terms of white papers and stuff I've read before. And it gives you the idea of what the project is trying to do, really. So, again, not too bad. White paper is okay. So let's talk about the token sale. So they've got the ERC20 token Morph, which reminds me of a little cartoon thing when I was growing up. Probably showing my age here. And then it starts on 23rd of Feb. And will run through to the 4th of March. One Morph will cost you 50 cents, and their soft cap has already been hit. It's 1.8 million, so that's been done through private investors. The hard cap of 36 million, 52 million tokens available in the sale. All funds are converted to Ethereum, and they'll be stored in a multi-signature wallet, which means they need loads of people to input their keys to obviously open that as well. So fair bit of security here in terms of what they're trying to achieve. But the big thing is, all tokens unsold will be burnt, and we like that on this channel. So what are the cons? Now, They've got 1 or 2 partnerships in place, but they're talking about others, but I can't see if any of them are 100% confirmed. And again, we've contacted the guys and we've heard nothing back. There's nothing on GitHub as of yet, and I don't think there will be until April. There is a shed load of competition coming into this area. That is probably the #1 watch out. The biggest challenge that these guys have is that this is a competitive market. So what do I see the pros of this project? Well, blockchain plus supply chain really is the perfect solution. Literally blockchain was built for this. They've got the permission blockchain, so they're fully utilizing the capabilities of the blockchain technology. They're also in talks with FedEx, Swift and Ripple, so there's lots of different partnerships that may come out of this. User-friendly interface, which I said before, you want to be able to have a system where just anybody can learn it in half a day and use it and be able to do all the different things that you need it to do to create smart contracts, etc. The other thing is obviously they've reduced the fees from 1.5 to 1%, so that is a huge cost saving for any company. And obviously the layered integration as well, so obviously there's a complex of documents that will be needed to use for different countries and all the rest of it, and they'll be able to template that up and do different things as well. So my final rating is 7.9 out of 10, and my main reason is that I'm not 100% convinced about their advisory team. I think that they have a strong team in terms of Danny and Noam. I think they're in a very competitive market. The fact that there's 46 new supply chain shipping elements coming in is absolutely bonkers. So this particular area, not all of them are going to make it. So will these be like the Coca-Colas or the Kellogg's or the Cadbury's of their industry? It'd be interesting to see. I think they've got the experience in the team. We'll just have to wait and see where this goes. But 7.9 I think is a decent score. As always, guys, thank you for tuning in. Please like and subscribe to the channel and leave me comments, feedback as well. Now, if you want to win crypto every single month, then on Crypto Rookies, we're giving away loads of different types of cryptocurrency. This month, we've been doing the one for Cryos. We've been giving away $5,000, and they also gave us $32,000 for one of our nominated charities, which is absolutely cool. If you want to follow me on social media, you can follow me at James_UK or at Crypto Rookies. And you can also join the free Facebook group that I have, which is PT Cryptocurrency Community. And that's just a big group where I share calls, information, people ask questions and all that type of thing. So you can get involved in our community. As always, guys, thanks so much, and I will see you on the next video. I'm feeling good.